Welcome back to another episode of Who Should You Choose, a video series where I go through the prior videos, questions, and comments and help you with your HUT lineup decisions. For everyone, again, just a reminder, I always do the morning NHL recap, go live about 10 a.m. Eastern time on my Twitch channel, and we'll take a look at all the goals and games from the prior night's NHL action, and then I go live again around 2, no later than 2:30 p.m. Eastern time to play out the remainder of the day in Hockey Ultimate Team. So that being said, again, link is down below. Twitch.tv/NoSleeves12. Also, if you want to support my channel, that'd be the place to do it. A subscription there is absolutely huge. So again, I appreciate all the viewers that already subscribe. All right, let's get into today's questions and comments. All right, Spets here. He says, this week we received Ottawa as the set to make Stützle from base select Ottawa players. Possibly seeing how EA would work. I truly feel they'll have a similar set, but we'll make it a Western Conference team and possibly a defenseman. So the question is, would it be smart to buy these base Western players, avoiding defense, and test and targeting the 82s because we will need them for future sets, and the fact that you can get and buy them for under 12K is worth it? If right, the profit alone can get us a player to add to the team, and if so, I'm choosing Salabrini as long as he gets decent speed bump. I'll be honest with you, man, that's like picking a needle in a haystack. The old content team was very predictable in that aspect. This new content team, it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see another set like Stützle, and it's just completely random. The average player getting 10 to 12 rivals wins. LOL, my man, you need to come and watch an actual average player play champs. 10 to 12 is extremely good. Yeah, I try to keep myself grounded with expectations of how good a player is. You know, I find that a lot of the top end players, when they say a player is good, they have to be like 2,200 CR in rivals. That's not the case. I think if you get to Division 2, you're a pretty good player. That being said, the average player, yeah, in champs probably gets... The reason why I say 10 is someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. So 10 is right in the middle there. I would say probably 8 or 9 would be the minimum, would be the average, though. I don't know how you'd find that out. I'd have to ask EA. Maybe they'd give us that information. This might be a dumb question, but if a fantasy card is at 99 and scores another goal, do his stats go up and up? No, at 99, usually everything is 99. That's how the overall system works, where it's a collection of all the other attributes divided by that amount of attributes, except for endurance. But no, once they're at 99, that's pretty much it. As I stated in your Twitch chat previously, I'm a new NHL 24 player. I'm a new NHL player as of 24. I love the gameplay, and I think most of the parts of the game are fun. Be a pro is fun, franchise is fun, etc., etc. However, it's great from a single $60 purchase perspective, but not when you need to spend $60 annually for a re-release. Then you look at the value of your NHL experience. If I was a player from 19 or 20, from what I hear, Be a Pro isn't much different. It's not. It's exactly the same. Franchise just got updates, but when it comes to HUT, it's all the small problems that are mostly the issue, except for the fact that the rewards have been absolutely horrible. The small problems, like why am I scoring a hat trick with a Calder potential player Mitchkov who has yet to score a hat trick, especially in one period? Or why is my puck not registering top shelf? Or why is there a Calder watch sticker on cards from people that are almost 30 and have been in the league a decade? Dude is spitting. The game I have played the most in my adult life is CSGO and CS2. I can't fathom the uproar and panic that would set in if your skins wouldn't carry over from CSGO to CS2, much like your jerseys or arenas or whatever. I can understand players in HUT not carrying over, but we are paying $60+ each year to have almost the exact same experience as previous years, except less customizable, more annoying moments. And now that HUT Rush is gone this year, we have to do HUT Rush objectives in moments now, like top shelf goals and the new empty net goals with the next gen moment. This isn't just an NHL problem, it's a sports game problem. A lot of sports games never come to PC because PC players aren't as susceptible to borderline scams like NHL, MLB 2K are. A lot of content creators are not spending money anymore, including yourself, and even Nasher stopped last year too, I believe. EA doesn't understand that you can make more money if you just listen a tiny bit. I have no issue spending money on the game if the game is fun. For example, Warframe is a free game, and I bought countless skins in that game because I wanted to support a developer working hard and making a fantastic experience and fun game. It's kind of like, if you build it, they will come, quote from Field of Dreams. I desperately want NHL on PC, and I know it wouldn't perform well because it's a borderline scam. Sorry for the wall of text. My boss thinks I'm typing an email, but we'll keep letting him think that. Thanks for the daily content, and I'll see you in chat. I appreciate the long thought out message. This is an Ultimate Team issue, you know, the fact that stuff doesn't carry over, and it's crazy that we just accept it. It is. That's why I think no money spent, and a lot of the creators, you get fatigue of spending money and doing the same thing over and over again. The problem is that when new cards come out, that dopamine rush comes and you just want to blow all your money on it. And again, I think the satisfaction of building your team without spending any money is pretty good. NHL on PC, yeah, again, you have to invest in anti-cheat, and I just don't see any sports game company actually doing that because it is quite costly in that sense. But you're not wrong, man. It's kind of a mess, but it is what it is. From Jaku, he says, I have an idea for the weekly competitive objectives. Have it scale. If you play online games or squad battle games on Superstar, those wins should count more than winning squad battles in semi-pro, and perhaps even make rivals win scale according to your division. This could be applied in other objectives. For example, score 10 goals. The more difficult the game mode, the more objective points would a single goal reward for the players. This is a reward. This is to reward skill, and the game is so freaking grindy already. I don't have time to play 30 games most week. No one wants to waste time playing squad battles on easy mode just to get the same weekly objectives done. This or just lower the amount of objectives needed. Yeah, I think that this goes into everything needs to be XP based. So, for example, instead of score 30 goals, it's just get 2,000 XP, right? And then if you're in a higher division, you get more XP inherently, right? And that would kind of solve the issue. We need to get to that. The objective thing is just it's so boring unless the objectives can be done online too. And again, for offline players, it's probably you see the complaints because they have to have a separate lineup and they're not able to actually use their team. Hey Sleeves, I started playing Hut a bit late last season. I'm tier 41 and I'm done all my objectives with 9 days left. Is it even worth trying to get 19 more tiers, or is it not very possible? He would definitely be in my lineup either first or second line. 19 more tiers? Well, you'll get one more week of objectives, so that's what, 45,000? You got to do the math. Every tier, I believe, is 12,000, right? So if you did every daily, which I think is 1,500, I probably not, man. It honestly probably isn't. What happens to my fantasy Chet Jones now that he's on the IR? Unfortunately, they don't do trade-ins anymore. It is buyer beware. That is one of the risks of the fantasy event. I'm going to counter with I hate wildcard, and I welcome the changes with the mascots. It has no rules, it was quick, and the players had great stats. Everything the wildcard isn't normally, and it took me way less time to complete. Hut Rush with objectives fixed would have been 100 times more fun than wildcard will ever be. They scrapped Hut Rush because they were too lazy to fix the mode, and now we suffer because they still wanted you to do the Hut Rush objectives in challenging moments. Looking at you, Panera. Yeah, I agree. I think that they wanted to give the players a draft mode because we asked for it. It isn't what I think everyone envisioned. And to do so, they had to remove Hut Rush and not put any effort into it again for the 5th year in a row. I think I got the perception that they wanted to remove Hut Rush years ago, and they just didn't because there wasn't a lot else in the game. That was the perception I got. I could be way wrong, but again, just the kind of tone I got when talking about Hut Rush. But we'll see. When someone else commented, if you're going to do something fun like this, that's fine, but allow us to play the game normally. I think that's something that's important. Do you think that Team of the Year McDavid will be worth it? Even if he upgrades for free, his X Factor is one of the only cards to upgrade with X Factor tokens and has free wheels. So I think it will be worth more to make his X Factor than his other Team of the Year and other Team of the Years. I'm with you, man. I've been saying this since the start of the game. Everyone's like, why would I rush and try and make Connor McDavid, who's stupid expensive? And the reason is because unless his Team of the Year card gets gold wheels, which would just be so bad, it would be so bad. That card is going to be the best in the game. And that's just how it is. Sleeves, you're looking tired, man. Not sure if you're going through something, but sometimes you need a break from the monotony of life. Take a few days, do something new with the kiddo, and you'll feel much better. This is coming from a dad who does this. I apologize, boys. I've been recording this later in the afternoon, and for anyone, scientifically, if you wake up at 6 a.m. and you go to work, and 3 to 4 p.m., you just hit that wall, and it just happens that, I'm recording these a little bit later in the afternoon after my lunch, and I'm just, I'm feeling pretty good, actually. I'm really good, actually. But I appreciate the concern. I do. Any idea why Dustin Wolf cards have such low speed? As a Flames fan, I'd love to use him even if he's undersized, but his speed is lower than his overall, despite his speed being the most impressive part of his IRL game. They have a team that do franchise ratings. The Hut team, I guess, could go in and manipulate it on new cards. He's smaller, so I thought the content team was supposed to make the attributes higher for speed on smaller goalies. I don't know. Jano says, hi, do you think that the main disconnection between the content team and us, that their first priority is to generate profit? I understand that they need that and the content team needs to be paid. Would it help at all if we pay a monthly subscription, like $10, and we would get better content? For example, 2 MSPs borrowed a week every week during the event, and we could earn a free one, which we could keep if we achieve some objectives. XP Path contains the X Factors and icon upgrades, but people can buy it at some point if not played. But all these are not earlier compared to the players who play the game. That was a tough read. The packs that could be bought should support the theme teams, and you could get random higher base players, 84 when the MSPs, 85s, and so on. This way, we could get better content, and they would have revenue. Although this only works if the gameplay is better, which is not at the moment. Obviously, this objective. Thanks for the great work, and probably your content is the main reason why I have not stopped playing the game this year. I appreciate that. Here's the issue: they make more money. It does not go back into EA. Okay, so here's how it works. These are very generalized numbers, but an old developer that no longer works there kind of explained this to me. EA Sports, imagine it like this. FIFA makes up 80% of the revenue of EA Sports. All right, 10% is then made up by Madden. The remaining 10% is made up by NHL, UFC, F1, and now golf. So even if NHL had an insane year, like as a business, it would just go into FIFA or other endeavors, and the same allocation of profits and whatnot would go to the same games, right? And again, as a business, that makes sense. As a consumer, that sucks, right? And it just is what it is. Like you would invest the most in the things that make you the most money, and that's just how it is. Honestly, and the danger here is that, do you think that we should pay more to get better? The problem isn't that we need to get better. It's just that we need someone there, in my opinion, that just has grinded the game. I've said this since the start of this year. It's just become clear and evident. They don't have someone on the team that's in that room that has impact on the decisions that says, hey, you know what? I wouldn't want to grind those objectives over and over again. So maybe we don't do that, right? I have an idea for the XP path. Have one like the one we have now with better rewards. Then set up that one that runs for 2 weeks with the MSPs. Every time you complete the MSP XP path, you earn a card from the event. Then you can redo the XP path to gain another choice pack, allowing those that truly want to grind the ability to earn all the cards from each event. Obviously, it should be difficult to earn them all, but make it at least it's just easy enough for people to earn and choose a card from each event they want. Just an idea. Overall, I enjoy the progression being lower this year. I have a great team, but I think they need to make it so we can earn all rewards and cards to the XP path the way we want to play. Also, Wildcard should feature that week's events cards to try out. I completely agree with you there. Yeah, so we've talked about this a lot. I think that the way that events should work is that there's just a perpendicular XP path that goes along with the normal XP path, and that's how you earn all of the cards. It's interesting to earn more cards, I've been dabbling with Pokemon TCG Pocket. When I say dabbling, I mean I've been absolutely addicted to the point where I legit beat the game. And it's funny, there was a comment earlier where it was someone, I think it was Warhammer or a different game, where the game was free to play, it was so good, but they wanted to support the developer. Imagine that. You like the game so much that you want to spend money on it because you want to support the developer. I legit did that in Pokemon TCG because the game was so good. I found it so well done and I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I grew up with it. And I thought the game was really well done. So, I spent money on the game to get some, vanity items and things like that. And it's interesting that it's not guilt, but it's recognition of enjoyment. And if the game was just better, the main issue, like I said, is that there's so many things in this game that are almost there. And if they made slight changes, we'd have a banger game from a content standpoint. Please feel free to ignore, but I just wanted to TLDR your stance on the content because it seems like literally every video there is someone not understanding the complaints in the comments. This is great because, again, there were some other comments that were, why are we complaining, right? And I don't want it to sound like I'm just complaining about the game. I enjoy NHL overall. I think it's fine. But, again, the frustration is that there's things, very rarely do they release something from the content side and it's this is perfect, as opposed to, wow, this is a good idea, but, and maybe that's just constantly, maybe that's just never being happy or satisfied, but that's what we should strive for. Anyways, players should be able to earn all rewards playing any mode, online or offline. except for the merit challenge flex cards like 10 win champs and Panarin for moments. This is it, guys. When I make complaints, this is the reason why. The game was marketed pay or play as you want, play how you want, and that is not what we have. That's the main issue. At the launch of the game, the one thing I enjoyed was that I just could play rivals because there was nothing else to do, and I enjoyed it. It is what it is, but players should be able to earn all the rewards and whatever they want, God, squad, or a theme team. Yep, every card you could figure out a way to buy or make, like milestone cards, for example. The system is as is, requires a free-to-play person to grind in moments, and wildcard to make an MSP every week. This sucks, especially for players who only want to play Rivals and Champs. Yep, 100%. An XP path fixes this, where you can just play Rivals in whatever division. In the higher division, the earlier you'll earn XP and be able to get your Master Set player item. The XP path is a good idea, but it isn't rewarding enough, 100%. That's the thing. The XP path is great. It is one of the best changes to NHL. Horribly implemented, like almost game-breakingly bad. Wildcard is a good idea, but most players do not like playing with terrible cards. Would be great by simply letting us draft event MSPs for less salary and cutting out all the silver cards and never giving us mascot wildcard again. Like I said, I've said this every episode essentially now. Yeah, you should be able to pick multiple MSPs, and you should use only event cards from that event. Yep, 100% agree. And then throw in the wild cards, right? Offline challenge content like Panarin moments are a good idea, but only if the stats track correctly and they aren't tuned like arcade. Again, when I was doing the Panarin moments, I was explaining to people, this is awesome that there are moments that are supposed to be so hard, but it wasn't on pro. There's no way that one moment was on pro. Secondly, if you have an objective like score top shelf goals, every single top shelf goal better count 100% of the time. We don't hate wildcard because we don't want to play only 1.5 to 2 hours of a mode we don't like. We hate objectives that require us to play with a team of 81 overalls that we don't like. And most of all, we hate the rewards in this game are so stingy that we have to play wildcard and do the objectives anyways. Again, 100% agree here, right? The fact that it only takes 2 hours to get wildcard done, that's not the issue. That is... Video games should not be in the light of, this only took me 2 hours to make. It should be, I got to play a great game for 2 hours, and then I got this awesome card. That's what we just have forgotten about in the gaming industry. It's not, it only takes X amount of time. It should be, I get to play this game for X amount of time, and it's great. That's what we're missing, man. Hey, Sleeves, my J-Bow is still at 85. I forgot to finish upgrading after the event ended. Should I bother spending 125,000 coins to get him to 86, or just buy the X Factor pack in the store? I'm over halfway to McDavid. Do not buy the X Factor packs in the store, guys, if there is a chance you can get a duplicate. For example, you need 4 captains to make McDavid. If you get 4 cards, like 4 Marcel Nobels, do not open another one with coins. You're flushing them down the drain potentially. After grinding all week to qualify for champs and only getting 6 wins because I was just getting dusted by all the whales with loaded lineups, I'm done with HUT. All that work for absolutely nothing. Why did they went away from collectibles to a single static card reward that require winning half your games is beyond me. In 24, I could get 10 to 12 wins in champs. In 24, I could save up collectibles and put it into a HUT Champs set. There is not a game in my library where I play it for that amount of time and not get what I am chasing. This is so demoralizing, and I won't ever give my week up to EA for their cruddy reward system. I'm sorry EA has made this game suck for people that don't run up their credit card balances to play games. I have too much self-control to play this game, apparently. Thanks for all the great content. I've unsubbed to your channel, as I don't want to get sucked back to World of Shell for me. I'm sorry to hear you go, man, but I understand your frustration. Again, anytime that one card is offered, there should be a choice pack. And I completely agree with you that the HUT Champs reward system, I hate the packs because someone who gets first overall gets a better pack, but might not pull anything better than someone way behind them. It's just gambling. It's just hoping and praying. If you were better, you should get a collectible for every win, meaning that the better you do, the more collectibles you have. And then you can spend it however you want, like we could last year. I don't know why they implemented such a good change last year where you got to pick what rewards you want and what rewards you got with your collectibles, to removing that and it just being awful. You know, it stinks. But the one thing I will say is that HUT Champs should be hard. It should be the hardest game mode there is. And I'm sorry you got like smoked in it, but it should. Last week I enjoyed the fact that it was as hard as it was. The mascots and wildcard are a cool idea if kids or adults want to just have some fun, but don't force it on us. Allow us to choose either. That's what I've been saying. Yeah, like you should just be able to choose either. Hey, slaves, the one question I have, other than why do our kids keep us up constantly sick, or keep constantly getting sick, is would you be more enticed to do team builders if the second time you built a specific team, you received a different team builder? Example, first team builder with Toronto, 83 Komarov. Second time, Fanuf. Thoughts? That's a really cool idea. I don't know if it would entice me more because 83s aren't really as usable as they were other than launch. It's just simply the cost. Again, the cost was so absurd that it just made it no point. You know, it just wasn't any enjoyable there. So that's gonna do it for this episode of Who Should You Choose. Again, thank you for hanging out and watching all the videos. Make sure you subscribe with notifications on so that you can get your question into the next episode. And I will see you later. Have a good one.